They asked me, "Are you allergic to Demerol?" I don't know. I'm 15. I don't even know what Demerol is. They just said count backwards from 10. And the next thing I knew, I woke up in a chair next to several other very groggy young women. I grew up in a home with plenty of money, but what we didn't have was unconditional love and acceptance just the way you came. Next thing I know, I'm 20. I'm in college and I meet the man that becomes my future husband. I still had nightmares. I still couldn't hold a baby or hear a baby crying. I had not shared my past with him at that time, and that drew us both into the church. I made a mental note. Christians don't like abortion, so don't tell anybody what you've done. They won't understand. I was 27 years old before that secret sin came to the surface. I found myself alone in a room with the lady that led the Hope group. Hope stands for Healing of Post-Abortive Emotion. And before I knew it, the secret spilled out. I started bawling in front of this lady, and I said, "I don't know why I can't stop crying." And she said, "Laura, you're crying because you lost a baby." That was the first time that I had ever felt I had permission to grieve. I had lost a baby, and I had never given myself permission to even think that. Yes, it was my fault, but still, I had been a mother, and I had lost a child. The Holy Spirit took me by the hand and said, "We've got to go back to that time, but don't be afraid because this time I'm going with you." I was 15. I remember thinking to myself, "God, if you knew this is what I would choose, why did you allow me to get pregnant?" When I walked in the door of the clinic, I started to cry. I wasn't sobbing, but tears just started rolling, and there was nothing I could do to stop them. I was scared. I really didn't understand what I was walking into. I hadn't received any kind of counsel, any kind of preparation about what I was looking at. All I knew is I was walking in pregnant, and I was going to leave not pregnant. I was asked to sign here and hand over my cash here. I was really expecting someone to say to me, "You know, you don't have to do this if you're not sure." And I think that's all it would have taken. That's all I needed. But there was no compassion. I was just a number. I was just $480. They didn't care. At the time, in the state of Tennessee, there were common sense laws in practice, which meant if you were under the age of 18, you had to get a parent's permission to obtain an abortion. So my boyfriend and I started looking around, and we realized that the Georgia state legislature had decided that a 15-year-old was mature and capable of making that decision on their own. So we were headed to Atlanta. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a job, but I was wise enough at 15 to make a life-changing decision. I can't believe that a group of men sat around in a legislature meeting and decided that I was old enough to make that kind of decision. A woman in a crisis pregnancy is compared to an animal, a wild animal caught in a trap, and basically they're willing to chew their own leg off to get out of that trap. So if we can just calm her down and promise to walk beside her, most of the time those young ladies choose life. Knowing that I am washed in the blood, that I can stand before anybody and let you see the ugliest skeleton in my closet, and that my unborn child is in the arms of Jesus, not holding this against me. That's the story of redemption to me. I named my child. I prayed about the gender of my child. I feel like it was a boy. If I get to heaven and I meet my child and it's a girl, that's just okay. But I needed to give dignity to him by signifying that he was a real person with a purpose. I've even been able to go on and facilitate and lead several hope groups as well. An amazing place here in Chattanooga, the National Memorial for the Unborn. It's the first one of its kind. It's very similar to the Vietnam Veterans Wall in DC. It's just a large wall of granite where you can place a plaque remembering your child, giving dignity to your child as a once living human being. At the memorial, as I was placing his name plaque on the wall, this is what I shared with my family that I had invited to be there at the memorial with me. I said, Jeremiah David, here today, I am giving you dignity in your life and in your death. And what I want to say is that your life made a difference. It's made a difference in me because it's helped me understand how deep the mercy of God can go. And I promise to you, son, that I'll use this pain and these lessons to tell other mommies about the heartbreak that I feel every time that I realize that you're missing from my life. Because I don't ever want to forget or take away any of his dignity as a person that was planned with a purpose and is still to this day changing lives.